This is just a small girl inside the tent. The tent is great for lighting. This is a worker that was kicked out of the north. He came from the north, and so they hired him on in the tent and trained him as a medical aid worker. And these kids are all refugees. They're all very... The reason I took these pictures, the reason I showed these pictures is before I went there, you know, I read the news a lot, actually. I follow the news. You hear about the massacres, you hear about fighting in this area and that area. Most of us just pass on it and say, wow, that's unfortunate. There's a conflict. So imagine someone chasing this kid with a gun and shooting him in the back of the head, or killing her family. This is what they're doing to each other. They become much more real when you see the kids laughing and playing and realize that they're the exact same people that are getting killed. They're very beautiful people. This old man, and a lot of these people requested their photograph be taken. It's one of the few places I've ever been where people request them. So then I went into the south after the this is in the refugee camp, and so then I went to the south. This is what we flew in on. Now I never considered logistics of getting from place to place in some of these countries. Everywhere I go, I've got roads essentially. So there are no roads during the rainy. There's some dirt roads. So when it's dry, 2 or 3 months out of the year, you can get big trucks through, where you can get supplies such as food and building supplies and medicines or whatever else you need. It takes a few days, but you can do it. But one, there's conflict. There's a lot of violence. So if you're on the road, you're at risk from rebels or bandits. Like if you carry cows, you're really at risk. But medicines and everything, you're still at risk from these people because there's a lot of conflict and a lot of guns around. So they hire a plane like this. You know what? So even fuel for the generators. There was generators there. There's no power in a cobalt. So the aid organizations use fuel. What do you think it costs per gallon to send fuel to a place like a Kobo? About $40 per gallon. You know, we talk about fuel prices. So this plane is about $12,000 to $16,000. So you load 400 gallons of fuel on it and fly it there. You just spent $16,000. What if you get there and it rains? You can't land for 3 days. You just spent $16,000 on a sightseeing tour. These aid organizations, they spend a lot of money, and unfortunately, it's the only way to do things. Flying over, this is what you see. This is a cattle camp of the Merlin. So they have a small hut, and then all their cows are outside. This is how they live. These are dotted all over the landscape.